Hey, welcome back to Zach Talks Tech, where it's about the community, engagement, and conversation we're having here about the tech that you love. I told you guys I was going to do a 60-day review of the Vivo NEX S. That is the phone with no notch. There's absolutely no notch on this, and it's got that camera that pops out of the top here, and it is full screen. It is a great looking device. It is a great functioning device, but it's not for everybody. I told you guys I was gonna do a 60-day review. The end date of that was supposed to be October 9th. I didn't make it that far, mostly because Samsung came out with a little something called the Galaxy Note 9, and I switched over to that as my daily, well, I don't like saying daily driver, so we'll just call it the thing that's in my pocket. But then again, that might come across a little wrong. Let's talk about the Vivo NEX S and the things that I did like about it. First and foremost, what I really liked about it is the size. I think the size was perfect, feels good in the hand. It's got that nice premium feel of the glass front and back. We got a metal band all the way around. Clicky buttons, feels really great. Number two, I really like that pop-up camera. There's been a lot of concern, a lot of people concerned about that pop-up camera coming out and possibly getting damaged. In my time with the Vivo NEX S, I never had any issues with it. Now, I'm not like every consumer out there. I am very careful with my devices. I generally use just a thin skin on them or a thin case. I don't use anything bulky. I'm very conscious of where my device is. I don't leave it next to drinks or anything like that. And I keep it out of the reach of, small hands and kids and things like that. But I never had any issues with that camera. I also didn't have any issues with that camera maybe coming out when it wasn't supposed to. There were some reports and people saying that, hey, my selfie camera is coming up and I haven't launched a selfie app that uses that. I never had that issue. So go into Snapchat, it turns on. Go in to do a selfie, turns on. Go to use a facial recognition, turns on, and it popped up. It was great that way. Let's talk about the back cameras here. Out of 10, I'd probably give them a solid 7, and that's being generous. It's probably closer to a 6.5. Pictures were kind of a little more blown out. When you zoom in, edges were rough. It's not to say it's a bad camera. It's just that I think Vivo could have done a better job. 4,000 milliamp battery. Love that, absolutely love that. Got me through the whole day, awesome. And last but not least, I gotta talk about it. The in-display fingerprint sensor is just awesome. And it's even more awesome seeing people's reaction when you use it. They're like, what just happened there? There's nothing on the back, so it's very clean looking. And then you go and unlock that in-display fingerprint sensor, and it's just wild. It looks great. It's a lot faster than previous generations, so they've definitely stepped up their game here using the technology from ZAKtalksTECH, and it's working really, really well. Now let's talk about some of the things that I didn't like about the Vivo NEX S and why I ultimately decided to throw my SIM card in the Note 9 after I received it. First and foremost, I was missing a lot of notifications. I don't know what it is. I've gone through the settings. I've told apps not to go to sleep. I've done all sorts of things and I've missed a lot of notifications. Specifically when it came to messaging, text, and also Hangouts, Google Hangouts. I actually use Google Hangouts to get notifications from my employer and for different work I'm doing. And to miss that information is not good. Number two thing that I didn't like about this, the UI. The default UI is something called Fun Touch UI. It is very Apple-ish. It very much looks, it doesn't feel like Apple at all, but it very much looks like Apple, and it's terrible. It really is terrible. To mitigate this, I put Action Launcher on here. I also did try Nova Launcher, and they both work very well. So once I put a different launcher on there, everything seemed to work out quite well. But the default UI is just all sorts of terrible. Number three is gonna be this action button here on the side. This is kind of like their version of like a Bixby button. It didn't launch anything that was useful. I couldn't remap it to anything. There are no apps on the Google Play Store to help me map it to anything. Luckily, I was able to basically completely disable it. So it's just a useless button sitting here. I almost want to take a chisel and just take it right out of there. Let's talk about the speakers. They're terrible. They're so bad. Oh my good Lord. You've got one coming out of here. It is tinny. There's no depth to it. Yikes. I mean, for such a awesome device with everything that does pack in here, no good speakers. They're just terrible. I always had to throw in earbuds or Bluetooth to a speaker in order to have a half decent time when I was consuming media. I'd be out and about watching videos and going, ugh, it was just not a good experience. And finally, the phone does not have any wireless charging. Now, I've said this before, wireless charging is not a make it or break it feature for myself when it comes to picking a phone. It is slower than traditional charging, but it's becoming more and more popular. I'm going out more and more and I'm seeing charging stands in places where you can just pop your phone down when you're having a coffee or a beer or whatever. I've got wireless chargers all over the house and it's just really convenient. If I need a fast charge, I am going to plug in directly, but to have that kind of convenience factor with wireless charging, I'm going to say I miss it, and it's going to be something going into 2019 that I'm going to look for from devices, and I really hope that OEMs step it up and they consider throwing in wireless charging in their devices. So final thoughts. This obviously is not meant for everyday consumers. This is definitely a techie phone. The technology is going to get better over the years. We're seeing exciting things come out. Huawei just announced their Mate 20 Pro that has the in-display fingerprint sensor. I'm going to try to get one of those for myself. We have OnePlus is going to be coming with their own device. And it's very exciting what's going to happen here in 2019. If 2018 was the year of the notch on Androids, 2019 is the year of in-display or under-glass fingerprint sensor. Mark it down. I said it first. It'll happen. You'll see this. All the major OEMs, Android, North America, overseas, are going to come out with their own versions of in-display. Samsung's got some real exciting stuff coming, if you believe some of the leaks and everything that have come up, and I believe them, so I am super excited about it. That being said, guys, not a bad device, but obviously not meant for North America. Vivo is owned by the same people as Oppo and OnePlus, so OnePlus has done their penetration within North America. Pretty soon we're going to see the OnePlus 6T on T-Mobile. That's how they're going to get into the carriers in the hands of more people. Vivo, in the meantime, you guys got to stay overseas. But of course, you could always import this. If you do import this, make sure you guys are getting it from a good website. Make sure you're looking for a proper global version that comes with Google Play already installed on it. That's what I did. Personally, I purchased through GearBest, and hey, GearBest, if you're watching, let's talk. Love your website. Love what you guys do over there. I'm going to be keeping it. I'm not going to be selling it. I'll be adding it to my collection to use to compare for future devices. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Vivo brings more and more down the road. Anyway, guys, that'll do it here for me right now. If you guys have enjoyed this content, please leave a thumbs up. Think about hitting that subscribe button as well. And I'll catch you in the next one.